And so, as both teams go back to their respective benches following the playing of the national anthem, I welcome you into the East Gymnasium here at Fort Lee High School in Fort Lee, New Jersey. My name is Tommy Aquilina. Thank you for joining us early in the morning, just after 10 a.m. here on a Saturday, a dreary Saturday. But things are looking up here inside the gymnasium as Kelly Lane's Fort Lee Bridgman girls basketball team is set to host the Hoboken Red Wings. So we're just about set. It's going to be Fort Lee number 30, Ileana James, doing the opening tip-off, along with number 22 for the Red Wings, Emma Conway, who's going to win it, Fort Lee. Trying to start things off quickly here. Zara Harry, a pass back to Eleanor Yu, and taken away by the Red Wings. Knocked out of play by number 13, Jackie Martinez for Fort Lee. They try to get it to Emma Conway. She does, in fact, have it. Good ball movement from the Red Wings leads to a three-pointer that is missed by Patricia Brown. Rebound and put back for Conway. So 2-0 Hoboken here in the early going. Conway knocks it away. She is the star of this Hoboken squad. That was P.J. Brown with it. She gets it back. That pass. Almost knocked away. They go back to Conway, and she misses. Zara Harry with the rebound. That was Ileana James getting fouled right there by a member of Hoboken. Eleanor Yu at the top of the key. Her pass is knocked away. That was Conway. Brown up ahead to a teammate. She throws it up wildly. Good defense there by Jackie Martinez. Really good defense. Zara Harry with the rebound. But then a jump ball is called by one of the referees. So we are going to have the possession arrow favor Hoboken. They'll stay with it. Good inbound pass, could not be handled. Knocked away there by Olivia Tesfaye for Fort Lee. Tried to get it into number 10, Fifi Delara. Now Brown having a hard time finding someone to get it into. She gets Delara. Pass inside to Conway. Conway off the backboard and in. Quick 4 points for Conway and a quick 4-0 lead. We're about 2 minutes into this one. Zara Harry cans the jumper. Assisted by Jackie Martinez. 4-2 Hoboken. Just more than 2 minutes gone by here in the East Gymnasium. Delara into Conway. Good defense. And Conway winds up missing. Ileana James with the rebound. Here is Jackie Martinez with a head of steam. Into Harry. She loses it. Who's going to come away with it? Samaya Blanks, that is, of Hoboken. Pass up ahead. Missed. Brown with the offensive rebound. Gets it back to Delara. Covered by Yu. Conway gets it back. And we get a whistle. Brown to trigger in. Good ball movement by the Red Wings so far, but that pass is intercepted. Stolen away by Jackie Martinez. She gets it to Harry. Almost loses it. Gets it back to one of the senior captains, Yu, swinging it to Ileana James, who is fouled. She was tripped up there by Jayla Johnson. First team foul on Hoboken. Or rather, second on Hoboken. First personal on Johnson, and she will sub out. Pass into Ileana James, who scores. And ties this one at 4. Eleanor Yu with the trigger in there. Now playing defense on blanks. Delara back to blanks. Here's Brown. The Red Wings swing it around. Delara misses. Long rebound out to Yu. Yu looking for James. It somehow gets to her, but now it's taken away by Hoboken. And taken right back by Tesfaye and the Bridgemen, and given right back to the Red Wings. Conway misses, gets her own board, spins around and misses again. Another offensive rebound, and we have another jump ball. So this time the possession arrow favors the Bridgemen. Here is Harry, short. James is right there. Now Conway with the board, running with a head of steam. 2-on-1, Conway takes it herself and misses. Ball bounces around and it will go out of bounds. No one officially getting the rebound there. Conway with 4 points and 3 rebounds already. She is the only Red Wing who averages double-digit points per game. And she comes away with the offensive board here and the putback. 6-4 Hoboken, all 6 points for Emma Conway. She averages 16.6 points per game, according to NJ.com, as that pass is closer to me than to a member of Fort Lee. Out of bounds off the Bridgeman, and we get a quick timeout. Conway averaging 16.6 points and 7.9 rebounds per game to lead the Red Wings. Pretty solid, 17 points, 8 boards per game. Also, if you round, about 2 assists and 3 steals per game. Hoboken, 5-2 on the season. They are in the HCIAL National Division, and they are 1-0 in division. That division featuring 7 teams. Hoboken technically in second place at 1-0. Kearney is 2-0 in division, so the same winning percentage, but obviously they've played one more game. 3:18 to play in the opening quarter here at the East Gymnasium. Hoboken, Conway herself, outscoring Fort Lee 6-4. Jasmine High checked in recently. Conway, the tough jumper. Conway, the offensive rebound. Conway, the putback. Jackie Martinez scores. First 2 points for her, and it's 8-6 Hoboken. Martinez is the only Bridgeman who averages double-digit points per game. She averages 11 per game. She had 9 2 days ago in the victory over Dwight Morrow. And Fort Lee takes over here. They can tie or take the lead. Yu, a nice pass to James, looking for Tesfaye. She gets it to her. Yu in the corner. No, but Harry is right there. Gets it to her teammate. And now Brown steals it away for the Red Wings. They swing it to the corner. Now they find Conway, who is fouled. She missed, but she will go to the line with Hoboken leading by 2. Second team foul on Fort Lee, first personal on Martinez. First one is off. Conway coming into this one, leading Hoboken in free throw attempts. A 61% shooter. From the line, that is. That percentage will go down, but she's 1 out of 2 here. So it's 9-6 Hoboken. Conway has all 9 of those points. Yu splits defenders, but her pass for Harry goes out of bounds. Just under 2 minutes to play here in the opening quarter. A 3-point advantage for the Red Wings. 5-2 on the year. Fort Lee following their win, which we had 2 days ago. Now 4-4 on the year. Jackie Martinez with the defensive board. She finds Yu, gets it back from her. Fort Lee does get over the half-court line. Harry off. Long rebound to Delara, but Harry takes it back. James to Tesfaye. Was that a travel? Yes, it was. Delara gets it back as they swing it both ways. Delara getting it back from Nora Block just into the game. That shot hit nothing before going out of play. That was Blanks taking the attempt for Hoboken. It'll be Fort Lee ball. Tesfaye will sit. And checking into the game for the first time for Kelly Lane is number 1, Giselle Lee. Giselle Lee had a good game 2 days ago in the win over Dwight Morrow. 3 points and 6 rebounds. Here's Harry with the jumper. In and out. Lee, the offensive rebound, kicks it back out to Yu. Eleanor Yu back to Martinez. Ileana James will pull up and miss the jumper, get her own board, and get it to Harry, who is fouled. Harry was in the shooting motion, so she will go to the line. Zara Harry is Fort Lee's best free throw shooter by percentage. 80% coming into this one, and she drains the first one. That one rolls out. So she goes 1 out of 2. Rebounded by number 13, Nina O'Keefe, just into the game. That's a travel. It'll go the other way. .35 seconds remaining here in the first quarter. 9-7 Hoboken. Fort Lee can tie or take the lead here. Yu faking the pass, now getting it to James. Good pass. Ileana James spinning. Misses. Rebounded by Blanks. Blanks trying to go coast to coast, and she does. .11-7 Hoboken. Still time for Fort Lee to make something happen. Zara Harry doubled in the corner. Pass intercepted by Brown, and Brown runs out of time. That shot missed, but it would not have mattered. Still, Hoboken will take an 11-7 lead into the second quarter. Emma Conway has 9 of those 11 points. I'll step aside ever so briefly. Don't go anywhere. We've got an exciting one here in Fort Lee. Fort Lee looking to protect this house here in Fort Lee, New Jersey. Mentioned the Bridgman won 2 days ago. That was a 47-26 divisional win over Dwight Morrow. The Bridgman improved to 2-0 in division on the year and 4-4 overall. They've won 2 in a row. They're 2-1 here in calendar year 2026, trying to keep things going. They trail 11-7 here as we begin the second quarter. That pass is almost intercepted. Conway loses it, and now Fort Lee will try to go the other way with it. Same 5 on the floor who starting the second quarter, who ended the first quarter, but Yu loses it. That was Brown who took it. Brown kicks out. Lefty stroke misses, and rebounded by Delara. Gets it to Conway, who puts it on the deck and scores. Give Delara a rebound and an assist. Give Conway 2 more points, and already she has 11. Zara Harry traveled. Hoboken keeping the pace picked up on offense and defense. An impressive start. Obviously, the offense has mostly run through Conway. This is Delara with it. Gets it into Conway, who kicks it out. At the top of the key, Delara misses a three-pointer. Rebound knocked out of play. That was Yu knocking it away from Jayla Johnson. Jayla Johnson leads Hoboken with 2.6 assists per game. They get it into Conway. Off the backboard, no. Strong defensive rebound by Ileana James. She picked up her 4th double-double of the year in Fort Lee's 8th game on two days ago. That would have been, what, Thursday? Here is James with it now. Harry keeps that pass in bounds, but it's taken away by Brown. P.J. Brown, Johnny on the spot. Her pass up ahead, controlled by Conway. She misses, and she doesn't get the rebound. The shorter Jackie Martinez does. Pass to Giselle Lee, taken away by, guess who? Brown. Now here's Delara with it. That pass could not be controlled by a Red Wing, so Fort Lee will go the other way with it. No, they're going to have a timeout. That's either an official timeout or a Fort Lee timeout. Either way, we're going to have a brief stoppage in the action here. Hoboken leads this one 13-7 as we take a moment to thank our proud Fort Lee Bridgman Athletics sponsors. You can see them on your screen right now. Thank you to our sponsors. Thank you for tuning in. Hope you've got a cup of joe with you or something like that. Fort Lee trailing Hoboken 13-7. The Bridgmen got off to a real rough start. They lost their first 3 games of the year. Since then, they've won 4 of 5, including 2 in a row. Fort Lee and Ridgefield Park, both 2-0 in division. Tied for first place in the Big North American Division. Not quite 2 minutes into the second quarter here. Ileana James splitting defenders. Late foul call, but she does get the whistle as she misses. So Ileana James to the free throw line. James, second on the team in free throw attempts. She is a 64% shooter from the stripe. Substitution, I imagine it won't be a long one, but Conway sits in favor of Nina O'Keefe. Opportunity here for the Bridgmen. James misses the first one. Who gets the rebound? Long rebound out to High, but she steps out of bounds. So it'll go right back to Fort Lee. And Kelly Lane will sub Tesfaye back in. Zara Harry will sit. Jacqueline Martinez picked up her dribble, looking for Giselle Lee. She has her. Lee either traveled or after she got it to Yu, it was Yu who traveled. Either way, it's a turnover by Fort Lee. Fort Lee wearing their home black and orange uniforms. Obviously, the Red Wings wearing red. Their road whites with red numbering and lettering. That pass, I believe, was intended for Delara. And it was knocked away by a Bridgman, so it will remain Red Wing ball. 13-7 Hoboken. About 5.5 to go in the second quarter. This is O'Keefe with it. Brown, that pass somehow stayed in bounds. They find High, who scores. Good vision by Samaya Blanks. She handled the high pass, found a teammate who scored. Here's Giselle Lee with it, picking up her dribble, almost losing it. Yu, the three-pointer, and it's good. Giselle Lee keeping the play alive and then scoring, or picking up the assist rather. And now High, looking to score again, is fouled. So Eleanor Yu with the three-pointer going the other way. It was Jasmine High who was fouled. She is now at the stripe following the foul by Ileana James. High's first free throw is good. And now James and her 2 fouls will sit. Giselle Lee also checks out. Samantha Song and I believe Gianna Sciglitano into the game for the Bridgman as High goes 2 out of 2 from the free throw line. 17-10 Hoboken. Martinez has it stolen away, basically ripped right out of her hands by Brown. Brown gets it to Blanks, who keeps it alive. O'Keefe gives it away. Give Eleanor Yu the steal on that one. Jackie Martinez taken away again by Brown. Martinez trying to take it right back. And we have a jump ball. P.J. Brown, if you can believe it, leads Hoboken in steals per game with 3.8. That's in 5 of the first 7 games this year for Hoboken. Now it's Delara taking away Martinez's pass, and we have a whistle. So they blow the play dead, but it will remain Red Wing ball. Blanks almost loses it. Now she does lose it. Yu picks it up. Yu gets it to Tesfaye. And she gets the roll plus the foul. Olivia Tesfaye goes to the free throw line with a chance at a 3-point play. She leads Fort Lee in free throw attempts this year with 28. She's hit exactly half of them. Short, and Blanks with the rebound. Pass up ahead. Kept in play by the Red Wings. Delara finds Blanks in the corner. She misses. Offensive board by Brown. Ball knocked around. Who's going to come away with it? Fort Lee. Jackie Martinez with a head of steam. Throws it up kind of wildly, and Brown will get the board. 17-12 Hoboken, 3.5 to go in the first half. Good pace to this one. That pass is not controlled by Blanks or Tesfaye, out of bounds, and now Emma Conway checks back in for the Red Wings. O'Keefe and High will both sit as Conway checks in along with Jayla Johnson. Sciglitano. I think she was looking for Song. Pass knocked out of play. It'll stay with the Bridgman. Yu triggering into Tesfaye. Good defense, so she passes it out. Martinez in double coverage, picked up her dribble and came down on 2 feet, so that's a travel. Delara taking it up for Hoboken. From the corner, blanks to Conway. She kicks it out to Brown, who drains it. First 3 points for Brown. It's 20-12, Hoboken. Pass intercepted. Delara off the backboard and in. First 2 points for Delara. 5 Red Wings have now scored, and Hoboken has a 10-point advantage. First time they've been up double figures, and Kelly Lane will take a quick timeout. So coming out of the timeout, it will be Fort Lee ball. It's going to be Song, Tesfaye, Harry, Yu, and Martinez. It's Jackie Martinez giving it to Yu now as they take it up. Martinez splitting defenders. Tesfaye to Harry. Martinez quickly swarmed. Couldn't get that pass to Harry. Up ahead to Brown. Who scores? I believe Blanks gets the assist on that one. 5 points now for P.J. Brown. Hoboken has Fort Lee doubled up. It's 24-12. Fort Lee struggling to get it over the half-court line. They get bailed out with a foul call. They're going to get Blanks, and I believe that'll be her second. Third team foul on Hoboken. Just over 2 minutes to play in the second quarter. Harry has an open woman. Song off the backboard and in. First 2 points for Samantha Song, and it's 24-14 Hoboken. Bounce pass to Delara. Bounce pass to Conway. Delara, good find. High off the backboard, that shot missed. Offensive board for Hoboken. Now Delara has it poked away. Yu with the steal. Eleanor Yu, stolen away by Conway. Conway, I think that pass was partially blocked, or that shot rather. Out of play, off Hoboken. So an opportunity here for Fort Lee to claw their way back in this one as we get to the latter stages of the first half. And Conway will sit Joe Borkowski in his first year as Hoboken girls basketball head coach. Takes out his star player, probably for a brief rest. Song to Yu. To Harry. Under a minute to play in the first half, and Yu is fouled. Defense a little too swarming there for Hoboken. Fourth team foul and the second personal on Delara. So she will sit now as Borkowski wants his better players to stay out of foul trouble. Number 2, Madison Kalingason checks in. First time calling her name today. Tesfaye. Out of play. No foul called there, but it will remain Fort Lee ball with 50.7 seconds to go in the first half. Yu to trigger in. To Tesfaye. Somehow that doesn't go down. And Brown comes away with it for Hoboken. Kalingason to Johnson in the corner. Passes out of it. O'Keefe. Brown swinging it to Kalingason. Gets it back from her. That pass is knocked away. Who's going to come away with this one? Punched in the air by O'Keefe, but Jackie Martinez is Johnny on the spot. Jackie Martinez misses, and Brown rips away the rebound. 5 points and 5 rebounds for P.J. Brown. She is fouled by Martinez. That's her first personal. And now 3 of the 5 players will be subbed out by Hoboken. Blanks, High, and Conway back into the game. Here's Conway. Kalingason, or rather Delara with under 5. That shot is missed. Conway gets the board before the half ends, but not the shot. It doesn't go down anyway. 11 points and 6 rebounds for Emma Conway. Hoboken leads Fort Lee 24-14 at the half. Want to give a shout out to our proud Fort Lee Bridgman Athletics sponsors. Don't go anywhere. We'll be right back with the second half action. Fort Lee hosting Hoboken. So a nice little break from the action. Very fast-paced opening half here at the East Gymnasium. The Hoboken Red Wings lead Kelly Lane's Fort Lee Bridgman 24-14 as we're set to begin the third quarter. Fort Lee looking for a third consecutive win. It's going to have to be a comeback effort. Delara at the top of the key. Brown, bounce pass, and she gets it back. Good ball movement from Hoboken. Put on display there into Blanks, who barely touched it before getting it to her teammate Johnson, who heads to the stripe. Nothing but nylon for Johnson on the first one. She is the 6th Red Wing to score. They now lead 25-14. She goes 2 out of 2. That was the first personal foul on Zara Harry. Fort Lee's freshman phenom. Tesfaye. An inconsequential foul by Conway, but a big deal for Fort Lee because that's her third. And the less time she spends on the court, the better. Conway, 11 points, 6 rebounds, and 1 assist in that first half. She averages 16.6 points per game. Not a strong possession there for Fort Lee. Hoboken gets away with having Conway out there with 3 fouls, and now Joe Borkowski will remove her. Nina O'Keefe will take over for Conway. About 40 seconds into the second half, a 12-point advantage for Hoboken. Delara at the top of the key. Pass knocked out of play by Martinez. It's the starting lineup right now for Kelly Lane. Martinez, Tesfaye, James, Harry, and Yu, who's playing defense right now. Yu covering Delara. Pass too high. Tesfaye will get credit for a steal there. Yu gets it to her, who gets it right to James from underneath the backboard, I should say. James to Tesfaye, but she missed. O'Keefe with the rebound. Blanks, no. Tesfaye with the board, being hounded, and it's stolen away. Now a steal for Eleanor Yu. Eleanor Yu going coast to coast. She missed. Harry the offensive board. Now Yu the offensive board. James to Martinez. Now it's Yu who misses. Blanks with the rebound, and now we get a whistle. We have a timeout here. Hoboken leading this one 26-14. Quick timeout. Hoboken leading this one by 12. Fort Lee has yet to score here in the second half. You definitely want to take advantage while Conway is not out there. Not only has she led the way offensively for the Red Wings, she leads the team in rebounds per game as well. A Hoboken team that is very used to playing together. 6 different players have played in all 7 of their games so far. Actually, 6 different players have now played in all 8 games if you include today. Conway misses a rather easy shot. James comes away with the rebound, and it's going to go the other way. Eleanor Yu gets called for the foul. That's her first personal, second team foul on Fort Lee. So Conway back into the game. Possession given right back to Hoboken. Bounce pass controlled nicely by Delara. She gets it to Blanks from the corner. No. Good box out by Tesfaye. She allows Ileana James to get the rebound. Here's Jackie Martinez with it. Really good pass to Tesfaye, who scores. Wow, she zipped it right past Conway, and Olivia Tesfaye now has 4 points. And now Fort Lee takes it away. Zara Harry to Martinez. Martinez to James. High arcing pass over the head of the defender, but also over the head of Harry, so that's out of play. Hoboken possession again. They lead this one by 10 now, with 5:06 remaining in the third quarter. Bounce pass into James, or Johnson rather, who's double covered. She passes out of it. Delara, long pass up ahead to Johnson. Johnson to Conway, who scores. 13 points for Emma Conway. Ileana James fakes the shot. Now she'll take the two-pointer. She'll get her own miss. To Tesfaye, off the backboard and in. 6 points for her. James with a rebound and an assist on that possession. Up ahead to Conway. And she misses. Rebound is knocked out of play. Tesfaye going up against Johnson there. Brown will trigger in for the Red Wings. Really good ball movement here by the Red Wings. Delara gonna pop the J, and she'll miss it. Ileana James with the board. Here's Eleanor Yu on the wrong side of the half-court line. She gets it to James. James is swarmed defensively, and she's fouled. That'll be the second team foul on Hoboken. It's also going to be Jayla Johnson's second personal. And now head coach Joe Borkowski will sub Jasmine High in for Johnson. Yu to trigger in. Here's Yu with it now. She finds Martinez. Zara Harry loses it. High scoops it up, gets it to Blanks, up ahead to Brown, who misses. Zara Harry is there for the defensive board. Big miss there by Brown. Fort Lee can get the deficit down to single digits. Ileana James fakes the shot, gets it to Tesfaye, who scores. 8 points for Olivia Tesfaye, and we have a timeout. The deficit is down to single digits. It is 28-20, 3:16 remaining in the third quarter, and a full timeout by Joe Borkowski. Want to give a shout out to our proud Fort Lee Bridgman Athletics sponsors. You see them on your screen now. Timeout taken by Hoboken. They lead this one by 8, trying to hang on here in the second half. So we come out of the timeout. Fort Lee trailing Hoboken by 8. Brown to trigger in for the Red Wings. Good job by High to handle that pass. She misses. Ileana James with the board, keeping her feet in bounds. This is Giselle Lee, who has just checked into the game. Looking for Yu, and she gets it to her. And Yu is fouled by Delara. The foul's starting to pile up a little bit for Joe Borkowski's squad. That is the third team foul on Hoboken. It's also the third personal on Delara. .253 remaining as Yu triggers in for Fort Lee. Lee is tripped by High. That'll be the fourth team foul on Hoboken. That is High's first personal, and Jayla Johnson gets ready to check back in. Yu to James. Doesn't get the roll, but she does get the offensive board. Tesfaye the offensive board, but that ball is knocked away. Hoboken possession, it's Delara with it. Looking for Conway. Ileana James, the defensive rebound. That's her 10th. Martinez, pass too hot to handle for Giselle Lee. Delara and her 3 fouls check out for Hoboken. Jayla Johnson and her 2 fouls back into the game. Hoboken maintaining an 8-point lead. Johnson double-teamed, gets it to High. High to Blanks. Misses the 3-pointer, but High gets the offensive rebound. Ball leaks out. Conway keeps it alive for the Red Wings. Conway misses, but is fouled. She'll head to the free throw line. They got Tesfaye on that foul. That's her second. Kelly Lane will sub Tesfaye out. No, she won't. She's just going to talk to her in between free throws here. And now she is going. No, she's not. Samantha Song stood up, but she sits back down. Same 5 will be on the court for Fort Lee. Conway misses both free throws, and that'll be Ileana James coming away with the board. She's racking up the rebounds. Fort Lee down by 8. Jackie Martinez, bounce pass to Giselle Lee. Jayla Johnson was right there. Lee lost it, and it's out of play off of Lee. So it'll be Hoboken ball. Now Samantha Song will check in, and she's going to check in for Lee. P.J. Brown, head up. She finds Conway. Conway scores. 15 points for Emma Conway. Lead is back up to 10 for Hoboken. Jackie Martinez is going to try to change that. She misses. Long rebound. Finally out to Brown. Little backcourt action there. It's not called. Blanks loses it. Might go down as a block. Ileana James was in the lane there. Under a minute to play in the third quarter. Ileana James misses the 3-pointer. Jump ball. No, not a jump ball. A foul on Ileana James. 4th team foul on Fort Lee. And James will sit after picking up her 3rd personal. Here's Conway with it. Conway misses with the left hand. Rebound to no one. Off of High, so it'll be Fort Lee ball. And now Conway will sit for O'Keefe. Hoboken up 30-20, about 45 seconds remaining in the third quarter. Yu looking for Harry, and Harry is bumped out of bounds. If that's Johnson, that's her fourth. It is Johnson. It's her third personal. But either way, she will sit. Nora Block will check back in for Joe Borkowski. That was the 15th foul on Hoboken, so that gives Fort Lee free throws, and Zara Harry cans the first one. Harry goes 2 out of 2. She has 5 points, and it's an 8-point deficit with 37 seconds remaining in the quarter. Blanks, without taking a step, gets it to High. High to O'Keefe. O'Keefe is fouled by Yu. I didn't see the foul from where I am, but the referee did. That is Fort Lee's 5th team foul. So free throws coming now for Hoboken. That's Yu's second personal. O'Keefe to the line. Rolls in. First point of the day for O'Keefe. She is the 7th Red Wing to score. High, the offensive rebound. Kicks it out to Blanks. Blanks, the three-pointer. No. Yu with the board. Plenty of time for one more possession here for Fort Lee. Eleanor Yu in the corner. Kicks it out to Martinez. Jackie Martinez for 3. That's a huge three-pointer. It's a 6-point game. They get it into High. That was a bomb that was missed by Nora Block. Huge three-pointer for Jackie Martinez right at the end of the third quarter. She has 5 points, and it's a 6-point game as we head to the fourth quarter. I want to give a shout out to our proud Fort Lee Bridgman Athletics sponsors. Very proud today. This has been a good one. Here, it's still the morning, right? It is still the morning. Just after 11 a.m., the Fort Lee Bridgman trailing the Hoboken Red Wings 31-25 as we head to the fourth quarter. Hoboken actually did lose their last game 2 days ago. They were routed 62-34 at home by Hudson Catholic. They do not look like a team that would lose by 20-something points today. Fort Lee is looking for their third win in a row. It'll have to be in comeback fashion. Fort Lee starts off the fourth quarter with the possession. Don't forget, several Hoboken players are in foul trouble. That does not continue there, though. They're going to get Jackie Martinez, not on a foul, but on a up and down call. You don't see that called too often. Here's Brown. She thought better of that three-point attempt, being hounded defensively by James. Really good pass to Johnson. Now Johnson is triple-teamed and fouled on the floor. Third personal on Tesfaye. She'll stay in the game. Brown will trigger in for the Red Wings. She'll try to. And Tesfaye comes away with it. Strong first defensive possession for Fort Lee. They can make it a one-possession game here. And they do! Ileana James, the three-pointer. Jackie Martinez assists. It's a three-point game. Emma Conway makes it a 5-point game again. 17 points for Conway. Her exact average, if you round, came into this one averaging 16.6 points per game. Great ball movement by Fort Lee. James misses the three, and Blanks comes away with the defensive board. And she is quickly fouled. 2 team fouls on the Bridgeman. Only a minute into the fourth quarter, exactly a minute into the fourth quarter. And now Eleanor Yu has 3 fouls along with Tesfaye. Delara, Blanks. What a pass to Conway. Conway with the left hand. No. Ileana James with the rebound. Here's Martinez. James at the top of the key. What a pass to Tesfaye, who's fouled. That's Johnson's 4th. And Olivia Tesfaye will go to the stripe. High is already ready. She'll check in after Tesfaye's first free throw attempt. Huge free throw that Tesfaye makes. Entered this one only a 50% shooter from the line. But she goes 2 out of 2 here. 2 gigantic free throws. 10 points for the senior, and it's a 3-point game. Ball knocked in the air. Delara is there. Johnny on the spot. Delara loses it. Samantha Song up to Jackie Martinez. Martinez scores! A foul called here gives Song the assist on that bucket by Martinez. That makes it a 1-point game. And then I believe that is Martinez they got on the foul. It is. That's her second. Not even 2 minutes gone by here in the fourth quarter. We're in for a good one. Conway, Brown, Blanks. What a pass to High, but High misses. Brown the offensive board. Conway, off the backboard and in. Taken away by Hoboken. Jasmine High with the foul. Just like that, it's a 5-point game again, and Jasmine High to the line with the chance to complete the 3-point play. That foul was called on Eleanor Yu. That's her 4th. So she's going to have to come out soon. Martinez with the defensive board. Jackie Martinez slows things down. Good pass to James. Yu in the corner. Eleanor Yu cans the 3-pointer. It's a point game. High, right to James. So Eleanor Yu staying in this one. She has it now, gets it to Martinez. Martinez to James, who couldn't handle that one. Up ahead to Conway. Conway scores. 21 points for Emma Conway. Samantha Song. Conway the rebound. 39-35 Hoboken. 4.5 to go in the fourth quarter. They get it into Conway. Kicks it out. Blanks misses. Brown the defensive rebound. Sort of taps it to Delara, who hits the 3-pointer. A huge three-pointer for Delara. Hoboken is back up 7. Martinez almost loses it. Now she does lose it. Delara keeps it in play. Delara to Brown, hits the bottom of the rim. Conway backs out and misses the three-pointer. Samantha Song is there for the rebound, and that's going to be a foul on Blanks. Over-eager defense there by Samaya Blanks. If you go by the scoreboard, it looks like they called the foul on Delara. That would be her 4th personal. That's what it says. So 4 on her, second team foul on Hoboken, and there is, I think, Jayla Johnson's 5th. Went to get that pass. She bumped into Ileana James, and that'll do it for Jayla Johnson. It's her 5th personal. It's the 3rd team foul on Hoboken. 3:42 remaining in the 4th quarter. Things getting very interesting here in the East Gymnasium. So Johnson's day is done. She'll finish with, I believe, 2 points, 1 rebound, and 1 assist. Hoboken does have a 7-point lead. 3:42 remaining in the 4th quarter. And now Joe Borkowski is going to go with Brown, Delara, Blanks, Conway, and High. Fort Lee going to go with Tesfaye, Harry, James, Martinez, and Song, who is triggering in now. Song into James. Ileana James spinning and winning. And another foul called as a Bridgman hit the deck. They're going to get James on the foul. That's her 4th personal. It's also the 5th team foul on Fort Lee. So now James and Yu both have 4 personals. And this should be a 1-and-1 opportunity for P.J. Brown. She makes the first one. Just 1 out of 2 in free throw attempts on the year coming into this one. Now she's 3 out of 4. 7 points today for Brown and a 7-point lead for Hoboken. Ileana James. Shot might have been partially blocked. She gets it back and misses. Conway the rebound. Emma Conway. No. Song the board. Zara Harry making a defender miss and then scoring, plus the foul. (44-39), Zara Harry at the line, and that was the 4th personal on Conway. 3-point play is completed by Zara Harry. She has 8 points. It's a 4-point game. Timeout taken. Hoboken has the 4-point advantage, but now Conway is 1 foul away from being knocked out of this one, and obviously that would be huge. So Conway has to be super careful. She's playing with 4 fouls. Eleanor Yu and Ileana James playing with 4 fouls for Fort Lee. Also, both teams are now in the bonus. 5 fouls for Fort Lee this quarter, 4 for Hoboken. So things are getting very, very interesting here in the East Gymnasium. Conway has 21 points and 8 rebounds. She came into this one averaging 16.6 points and 7.9 rebounds per game. So she's cleared both of those figures. but she's now playing with 4 fouls. That'll do it for the timeout. Hoboken looking to improve to 6-2 on the year. Fort Lee looking for the comeback and looking to get over 500. They lost their first 3 games of the year. Since then, they've won 4 of 5, including a divisional matchup against Dwight Morrow 2 days ago. Right now, Kelly Lane is going to go with Martinez, Tesfaye, James, Harry, and Song. And for Hoboken, it looks like Brown will trigger in with Delara, Blanks, Conway, and High also out there. Some technical difficulties here. Usually when I say that, that means we're having an issue technologically. Here it's an issue with the court, but they've got it figured out now. And with that squared away, we're set to have Brown trigger in. She gets it into Blanks. Up to Conway. Good pass to High. Tesfaye, good defense, but High scores anyway. Better offense, and the assist for Conway. Lead now back up to 6, and they're going to say that went out of play off of James. So now a 6-point lead and possession for Hoboken with under 3 to play. Here's Delara with it, and that'll be a steal for Zara Harry. Harry gets it to Martinez. She finds High and gets it back from her, or Tesfaye rather. Back to Tesfaye. To Harry. James is right there. She's Johnny on the spot. 9 points for Ileana James. We get a whistle here, and it's a timeout taken by Joe Borkowski. Bails out one of his girls, and it's a timeout with 2:19 remaining in the 4th quarter. 4-point edge for Hoboken. Borkowski running out of timeouts, so that had to be a full one that he took right there. Timeout over. Brown to trigger in again for Hoboken. Blanks finds High, who scores. Ten points for Jasmine High, 6-point lead for Hoboken, and Martinez has it stolen away. Conway hits the deck, they get it up ahead, High again. 12 points for Jasmine High. And it's now 50-42 in favor of Hoboken. We're going to have an official timeout here. I didn't see what happened, but Brown did go down. Everything happened rather quickly there, but Hoboken extended their lead from 4 to 8 rather quickly, and they now lead 50 to 42. Just like that, Jasmine High has 12 points. One of 2 Red Wings in double figures. High with 12, Conway with 21. Olivia Tesfaye leads Fort Lee with 10 points. And then Ileana James has 9. A minute 53 remaining in the fourth quarter. Brown is on the court for Hoboken. Conway is not. It's Brown, Blanks, Delara, High, and O'Keefe. And it's Fort Lee ball, trailing by 8. Eleanor Yu to Martinez at the top of the key. Stolen away by Brown. Good defense by Martinez not to foul. The kick out to Blanks. Misses. Strong rebound by Tesfaye and a travel. That'll give it back to Hoboken. Minute and a half remaining in the fourth quarter. No one to get it into. And so no real harm, no foul there for Fort Lee. They lose a second or 2 off the clock, but they get possession right back. Time starting to become an ally of Hoboken, though, and that's not going to help. Yu can't handle the pass. Out of play off of her. And it'll be Hoboken ball. Conway will check back in for O'Keefe. Brown into Delara. Delara had some space there, and she takes advantage of it. 7 points for her. And a 10-point lead for Hoboken. Foul is called there. That will give Fort Lee an opportunity to score without time coming off the clock. Second personal on Jasmine High. It'll send Ileana James to the free throw line. Tough one there. One more free throw coming for James. Every foul after this will mean free throws for both sides. James goes 1 out of 2, and that should be a double-double for Ileana James. 10 points and 12 rebounds. That would give her 5 double-doubles on the year in only 9 games. Great senior year she's having. Jasmine High, strong offensive performance. It's an 11-point game. Under a minute to play. James misses. Conway with the rebound. Emma Conway. Soft touch. She has 23 points. It's now a 13-point lead for Hoboken. James fakes the 3. She'll can the 2-pointer, and we have a timeout. A dozen points for Ileana James, who came into this one averaging, if you round, a double-double. 9.8 points, 9.6 rebounds per game through 8 games. Fort Lee now trailing with under a minute to play by 11. So it's looking like their 2-game win streak is in serious jeopardy. The Bridgemen will be in play again in 3 days. That'll be January 13th. It'll be another home game, and it will be a critical divisional matchup against Ridgefield Park at 4:15. Ridgefield Park and Fort Lee both winning their first 2 in division games of the year. So that one will be critical, and it looks like Fort Lee will be looking to get back to 500 overall in that one. 56-45 Hoboken. 31.9 seconds on the clock. Pass into Conway, but she traveled. So 1.2 seconds come off the clock, and it's right back to Fort Lee. You really have to either attack the basket here and look for a foul or launch some threes if you're Fort Lee. They get it into Martinez, covered by Brown. Ileana James in the corner. She's going to take the easier shot and score. It's a 9-point game. Fort Lee not playing pressure defense. Hoboken will improve to 6-2 on the season. The Bridgemen will fall to 4-5. This was a good one, but ultimately a loss for Kelly Lane's squad. Your final, Hoboken 56, Fort Lee 47. And you hear the final whistle. So again, the final, Hoboken 56, Fort Lee 47. Thank you to Fort Lee Athletic Director Michael Raftery and everyone else who does all the hard work to make these games and streams happen. Thank you so much for tuning in on a Saturday morning. Go out and enjoy the rest of your Saturday. My name is Tommy Aquilino. Once again, Hoboken defeats Fort Lee by 9. We will see you next time here on the Fort Lee Bridgman Athletics stream. Have a great rest of your weekend, everybody.